One of the most exciting things about paleontology is that everything we know about a species can change with just a single discovery. We only need to look at the progress we've made in the paleontological world over the last century or two to see this in action. Indeed, while dinosaurs were once thought to be hulking, sluggish, and primitive beasts, we now know them to have actually been hugely diverse and often fleet-footed kings in their respective environments, perfectly evolved to meet their own ecological niches. This sort of U-turn in our knowledge can sometimes feel a bit jarring, but it's often needed to fill in the gaps. And on Wednesday, the 11th June 2025, if you're watching in the future, we saw one such massive revelation with the announcement of a new T-Rex relative that has quite literally rewritten the Tyrannosaurus story from the ground up. The new species wasn't exactly what you'd think of when the word Tyrannosaurus comes to mind, as it was only about 1,600 pounds or 750 kilograms, which is roughly the size of a large horse. In contrast, an adult T-Rex could have reached around 10 times that weight at maturity. Surprisingly, the studied skeletons aren't actually anything new. In fact, they were actually dug up in Mongolia in the 1970s. The problem? They were originally believed to be from an existing species, the Electrosaurus. However, the PhD student researching the fossils noticed several distinguishing Tyrannosaurus features that have completely reclassified the bones as belonging to a basal member of the Tyrannosaurus family. In other words, this new species, named the Khankhuuluu mongoliensis, is one of the first ancestors of the Tyrannosaurus lineage. The specimens date back to around 86 million years ago, around 15 million years before the T-Rex entered the scene. Fun fact, Khankhuuluu mongoliensis is Mongolian for Dragon Prince. Seems a fitting name for the ancestor of the tyrant lizard king, doesn't it? While the Khankhuuluu mongoliensis did have tyrannosaur features, it wasn't quite there yet either. For example, its snout bone was hollow, and it didn't have the typical tyrannosaur bumps around the eye. It also had more slender, serrated, knife-like teeth that suggest it hunted by slashing rather than biting down and holding prey. But what is it about the Dragon Prince that's quite so revolutionary anyway? Well, it's the fact that the existence of the Khankhuuluu mongoliensis in Asia shows that the Tyrannosaur lineage originated after early animals migrated across an Asia-America land bridge, resulting in distinct populations of Tyrannosaur. Notably, the study highlights 3 distinct dispersals of Tyrannosaur groups. The first dispersal moved from Asia to North America between 91 and 86 million years ago. The study suggests a number of Khankhuuluu mongoliensis relatives moved to North America at this time, while a second population remained in Asia to evolve into the Dragon Prince itself. The second dispersal then moved from North America back to Asia roughly 79 to 78 million years ago. Finally, the third dispersal saw tyrannosaurs moving back to North America from Asia between 73 and 67 million years ago. The study proposes that this third dispersal, specifically, is what separated the Tyrannosaurus rex and Tarbosaurus batar species. These regular crossings from one continent to the other likely further contributed to the huge diversity and success seen in the Tyrannosaur group as a whole. The reclassification of the Khankhuuluu mongoliensis is a revolutionary discovery in itself, but the implications for genetic spread and dispersals between America and Asia in the Tyrannosaurus lineage are massive. This provides a huge amount of new insight into the relationship between different Tyrannosaurus species, and critically brings new light into how the iconic Tarbosaurus and Tyrannosaurus rex diverged from one another. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to read the study, a link can be found in the description below. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more paleo news soon.